landscape is polarized to the point that we rarely hear each other. Larry Sharpe has traveled the country and has personally visited every county in New York State, listening to people's concerns. The Sharpe Way is a show where answers, solutions, and common ground can be found so that together we can forge a new way forward. The Sharpe Way is the way to mutual respect, where no one has to convert to be heard, because you can be as liberal or as conservative as you want, as long as you aren't forcing your beliefs on others. Welcome to Sharpe Way Radio.
Oh, yes, it is Larry Sharpe. Sharpe Way Radio on the Voice of Liberty. The number to call after the first break, 585-346-3000. I would like to tell a short story. A little bit about when I was a kid. Excuse me, I have a cough today. When I was a kid, I grew up in the South Bronx, right by Yankee Stadium, across the street. Loved the Yankees, went to the games often. And when my dad, when I was a little guy, elementary school, he wanted me to get out of the house on a weekend, just go. He'd give me $5. He'd give it to me usually in the morning on Saturday. I'd be up early, eating my cereal, as so many people my age used to do, my sweet sugary cereal, watching cartoons, common thing if you're my age. And he'd come to me and say, hey, here's $5. I don't want to see you until dinner. And tomorrow, I want you out. I want to see you until dinner. I don't want to see you. So, okay. I was happy, got my $5. Why'd that matter? Because back in those days, a bleacher seat to the Yankees game was $1.50. $1.50. So I can go to both games. That's $3. I got $2 left. That's enough for candy or a hot dog both days. So I'm good. I am good, whatever I want. It was usually candy. But anyway, it's fine. I was set. I could go early, meet the team as they're coming in at 10 o'clock, watch a practice at 11, watch a practice at noon, watch the game at 1, ends maybe 4:30, hang out with my buddies till around 5:36, head home for dinner, maybe get some candy before dinner, which I shouldn't have done, but I might do that. Whatever. I was good. Life is fine. Okay. One weekend, my dad gives me $5. He knows I'm going to go to the game, all that kind of good stuff. But that weekend, the Yankees weren't home. They were away. I don't remember where they were. They were someplace out. Maybe Chicago. I don't remember. Maybe the White Sox. Anyway, they were playing some other team. So I go out, and I take the money, and I buy baseball cards. I don't do the thing. I go buy baseball cards. Now, was that the wrong thing to do? He wanted me at the game with my buddies. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to tell him. I could have just went out and played in the park, but I didn't. I bought baseball cards. Lots of them. Because baseball cards back then only cost like 25, 50 cents. So afterwards, Sunday, he asked me, hey, how are the games? And I say, they were great. I wasn't lying. They were great. The Yankees won. So they were great. I wasn't there. They weren't here either. But they were great. It's true. Was I lying? I felt terrible. I still remember it. I felt bad. I felt like I was lying to my dad. Why? Because I was out, as he told me, but I wasn't doing what he wanted me to do. He wanted me out at the game with my friends, so he knew where I was, and home at the right time, all that good stuff. I took that money in the morning, knowing that I would not do the thing. And then when he asked me about it, I kind of said, whatever. Did I actually lie? Not really, but I kind of avoided. Why would I bring up that crazy story to you today? Because Elise Stefanik just did exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Elise Stefanik said, I'm going to go be the UN ambassador. Trump said so. Trump said, sorry, can't do that. Stuff changed. You got to stay. She went, oh, well, that sucks. Okay. Can I get something? He said, run for governor. She said, okay, I'm gonna run for governor. Love it. I love New York. I want to run for governor. I love it. Give me money. She was racking up all of the endorsements. She was racking up all the cash, out there talking trash on social media, going on Fox News, all the things, bringing millions of dollars in, and then said, yeah, I'm not going to do the thing. I got like family and stuff, so I can't do that. Sorry. Not doing it. Basically what she said. She actually said, oh, it's family and stuff, so I can't do it. You didn't know that you had a family when you took those millions of dollars and you got people to give you money and got them excited and went on TV and got a website and got social media going. You didn't know you had a family? She said, well, it's holiday season, she said. She didn't know the holidays were coming. She took all that money, told everybody she's going to win. She's going to beat Hochul. When she told us that, she didn't know holiday was coming. She kind of knew. Just like when I took that $5 and I knew the Yankees weren't home. I took that money. I didn't say anything. I was a kid, though. Still wrong, but I was a kid. And then when asked, yeah, I dodged. Wasn't a direct lie. I mean, it kind of, but it wasn't a direct lie. And I was like 8. She's a little bit older than 8. And she blatantly lied. And she didn't take $5 from her dad. She took millions from Republicans in this state who believed in her. And she walked away. Just walked away. Now, she still got millions left, whatever that is. Who knows how much? And she spent some. Whatever she spent, who knows? We'll find out coming up here. There'll be an accounting of her campaign when the time comes. But she spent some. And she's got some left. She told us she was going to run. She told us she was going to win. She took time and energy. She paid consultants. And then she walked away because it was going to be hard. Because it was going to be hard. That's the reality. I told you that. I told you that when she first started. I said she doesn't have a campaign. She isn't campaigning. She doesn't have policies. She doesn't have a real team. She's just doing this to make money, to wait till the next thing that comes along. Well, she realized, oh, this is going to be real work now because Bruce Blakeman jumped in. Now, why would Bruce Blakeman jump in? He's a 70-year-old dude out of Nassau County who just won his election. He, according to him, he's the best county executive on the planet. Okay. I hope you are, Mr. Blakeman. Why don't you keep doing that? Because you're so good at it. He said, no, I'm going to go run for governor. Why? He had talked about it in the past. He did. He was going to do it. Thinking about it. Then Stefanik jumped in. And he shut up for a little bit. He said, I'm not doing nothing now. I think Trump's going to endorse her. I think she might push through. I'm going to be quiet now. I think I'm going to run here, down here in Nassau again. And everybody saw the reality. Elise Stefanik had no chance of victory. Elise Stefanik had no policy, had no plan. And her fundraising started to slow down. Why? Because everybody saw what I said. No chance, nothing. And Blakeman said, wow, I could jump in on that. Let me jump in on that. And when he jumped in, Trump said, whatevs. A stab in the back. Did Stefanik deserve it? Did she not? I don't know. Did Trump say, Stefanik, I didn't realize how bad you are. You suck. Get out. Put Blakeman in. Is that what happened? I don't know. Here's what I know. Stefanik dropped out when she saw it was hard. That I know happened. Did Trump ask her to? I don't think so. I don't have evidence that he did. But backed out. She probably got that cool thing already. She's going to become whatever, ambassador to Argentina or whatever she's going to get. Or going to get some cool podcast hosting gig on some station or whatever. Maybe that. Maybe she's going to have Fox Business News or something. Maybe she got that. Whatever she got. So she's ready to leave. In comes Blakeman. Here's what I will ask you. If you are a Republican in this state right now, do you finally believe me? Do you finally believe me on how broken the New York State GOP leadership is? They picked her, whether she made a mistake or not, whether she was wrong or not. And then they dumped her, or she dumped them, either one. And they just threw Blakeman up. And immediately, endorsements come. Why? So they can have no primary. The leadership in this state does not want you to have any say in who your leaders are. I'm not joking, you just saw it. They tried to do it in 2022 with Zeldin, but enough people fought it. 2026, they're first with Stefanik. That failed. Oh, no worries. Blakeman. Weren't these the same people, the same leaders who got mad at the Democrats for putting Harris on us? That's what the Democrats did. They said, Harris, you got her, shut up. She's the best, shut up. Republicans in this state doing the same thing. Nationally, they had a primary. The National Republican Party said, no, we're gonna have a primary. Of course. Trump won a primary. Trump's nominee. Duh. That's how it's supposed to be. I got it. What did the Democrats in this state do? I'm sorry, Republican leadership in this state do? They said, well, no, it's our guy, our gal. Shut up, Republicans. Have you figured it out yet? They're accepting. They're going to come in second. They don't want to win. No chance of victory. They select the guy or gal they decide. They tell you to give them money. Sadly, a lot of Republicans in the state give them money. They lose. They take that money and run. Now, I've heard before, Larry, you don't understand how this works. Yeah, she got that money, but now she has to give it to Blakeman because he's the nominee now. No, she doesn't. Now, she might, but she doesn't have to. She can. She doesn't have to. What can she do? Oh, I'm going to tell you. And what I think she will do. I was right last time. I think I'll be right again. But you can tell me if you want to. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharpe on Sharpe Radio, the voice of liberty. Back with your calls and your chat after the break.
For the last couple of years, Joe Robach has been telling you about Flower City Collision in Henrietta, saying that it was started by a veteran along with his son, Zach. Hi, my name is Greg Sadwick, and I am that veteran. I want to thank the WYSL listeners for their support over the last couple of years. During those years, not only have I experienced the gratification of providing you the best repairs and customer service, it has also allowed me the opportunity to see my son develop as a young professional. So remember, Flower City Collision for your collision repair needs. And thank you for supporting our locally owned family business.
Donald Trump and conservatives may have won, but you know the left will unceasingly try to undermine society and spread evil, targeting the innocent and God-fearing, especially our children. Help promote a truth-based society and try something different in 2025. The WYSL stations can grow your business, professional practice, or organization, so allocate your ad dollars here. Reach our huge audience, entertained, inspired, and informed by leading conservative thought. Affordable, effective. The WYSL stations, the voice of liberty. Call 585-346-3000 to advertise.
Hey, if you like history and you like airplanes, the National Warplane Museum in Geneseo, New York is the place to go. Tours, exhibits, events, vintage aircraft, and more. Visit nationalwarplanemuseum.com for more details.
Sharpe Radio on the voice of liberty.
Oh, yes, it is Larry Sharpe. Sharpe Radio on the voice of liberty. 585-346-3000. I have been talking about Elise Stefanik walking away from the governor's race. And what is she doing next? And why? And where's that money going? And what is Blakeman going to do? So let me walk down that road. People told me Larry, you don't know. See, they have to give that money back because that's Republican nominee money. No, that's not how that works. How do you know, Larry? Because I've run for governor more than once. And I've consulted with a whole bunch of people running, not for governor, for other things. So yeah, I know how this works. How it works. The money that she already spent, and she spent money on consultants, on other workers, on getting a website, on travel, all those things. That money's gone. That's just gone. Some grifter grifted, said thank you. Now, you know what? I'm wrong on that. Let me pull back. I'm sure there were some grifters. But there were people who just did good work. And they probably believed in her. And went, I'm going to quit my current job or take some time off so I can jump on her campaign and help her do stuff. And she went, thank you for being so motivated. And I'm just going to ignore you now and screw you over. Hope you get your job back. I'm going to stop paying you now. So good luck paying your rent. Good luck paying your bills. Hope that works out for you. Maybe I'll give you a good recommendation. But again, my name is Mud right now. So my recommendation probably won't mean much. That's what she did. So that money's gone. She has money left over. Well, she has to give it to Blakeman now. No, she doesn't. She knew several things with that. One thing she can do with it if she wants to is she can just keep it. I don't mean personally, but she can keep it in her committee. And she can decide to do other things with it, like run for another office later. Yes, she can. She can say, I'm going to run for the mayor of Messina or something and take that money and run for that office. Totally legal. It's the same money, her doing something political. She's running for office again. She could. She wants to run for state assembly, go back to run for Congress again, run for senator, whatever. She can run for Senate. Maybe she's the next Republican Senate candidate. Could be that. She can run for any of those things. Number one. Number two, she could take that money and give it to another candidate in a hope. Now, this is not legal, meaning she's not legal to say quid pro quo. So I say hope. I mean, it'd be a deal. I'm not saying that in the hope that if she gives that money to a candidate, she will somehow get a job or somehow get a position in that candidate's either campaign or cabinet if that candidate wins. So she'll give the money to the next person who runs for president, next person who runs for Senate, whatever, and hope to get a piece either in the campaign or afterwards. Happens all the time. Or she can do the Zeldin. Yes, it's called that because I just call it that. You take that money and you put it into either a PAC or a think tank, either one. So you put it into one of those things. And so she takes her $2 million, whatever she's got left, and puts it into the Women Republicans of New York PAC, whatever, puts it into that. And then she does that. And she says, who's going to be the executive director? Oh, me. I'll be that. And I'll pay myself a salary of, I don't know, $400,000 a year. And done. So she gets that money right into her pocket in that regard. Again, not illegal. I am not in any way accusing her of doing anything illegal or even saying she will do anything illegal. I'm not saying that. I don't believe that. All those things are legal, done all the time. Could someone believe that that is unethical? Yes. But I'm not saying it's illegal because it's not. It's done all the time. So for all of you out there going, she's got to give that money to Blakeman. No, she doesn't. Might she? Yes. She might say, hey, I've got whatever. I'm making this number up. I don't know. I've got $1.5 million left. Hey, Blakeman, take it. Why don't you make me something in your campaign? He goes, fine. You are the deputy secretary of paperclips, and we'll give you a salary of $20,000 a month. Done. Have a nice day. See you on Thursdays at our weekly meeting on Zoom. Done. She can do that. She might. And she might do any other things. But here's what she will not care about. What you think. Here's what she will not care about. What's right for the state. That will not be anywhere near her mind. What will be is what will move her forward. That's clear. That's why she dropped out. That's why she bailed. Even though she was raising money, backed by the Republicans, and could have made this work. She chose not to. Well, could have run. She couldn't have obviously won. That was impossible. Now, either she believed that off the bat, or she found that out. I think she knew she could never win, but she thought it was going to be a cakewalk. Not having to do anything, not having to campaign hard, not having to go out and make policies, doing nothing. Just hanging out, getting cash, going on friendly Fox News, 8-minute hits, laughing and smiling, and saying, Hochul's bad, and Trump is great, and I'm going to hope that you guys keep giving me money, and life will be good. And that wasn't going to happen. And Blakeman made that happen. So if you're mad, maybe be mad at Blakeman. Or understand that this system is supposed to be about a primary, where Republican voters decide who they want to go up against a Democrat. Not Republican leaders present the person and say, shut up, take this one. You'll take this and you'll like it. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Republicans vote and go, no, we want this person to go up against Hochul. That's not how that works, though. Not in New York State. That's not how that works. Let me grab some comments if I could. All righty. Shelly says, she takes her millions and runs. I wouldn't be surprised if she moved out of the state. Me either. She doesn't live here anywhere. She lives in D.C., or the D.C. area. She loves that area. That's where she wants to be. So I wouldn't doubt that. Maybe she starts a pack down there or something like that. Or she goes to Europe and works for the State Department someplace. I don't think that's crazy at all, Shelley. I think that you could be right. Yes. Patty says, someone should tell these leaders, she puts in quotes, the stories of King Midas and the Emperor's New Clothes. I feel like we are watching real-life versions of each. The boy who cried wolf would be good for the Dems. Yes. Here's the problem. In the case of King Midas or the Emperor, they're still the king and still the emperor. So it doesn't matter. They don't care. I have no clothes. Okay. Am I still rich? Yes. Am I still powerful? Yes. I don't care then. King Midas. Oh my God, I might touch things. Okay. Yeah, well then other people touch for me. I'm still in charge, right? You are. I still have power, right? Yeah. That's all they care about. John says, her statement on social media was very weak. She claimed her primary would be too expensive and would only be expensive if it cut to the bone she planned. Yes, the amount she planned to pocket. Yeah, see, you make a valid point. She didn't want a primary. She wanted to put that money in her pocket. In theory, you would want a primary. You might go, why? Why would she want a primary? Okay, two reasons. Number one, if she's in a primary, she gets more press because the primary is press. There'll be debates, reasons to raise money, reasons to have commercials, all the things. So not a bad idea, and reasons to raise more money. And for those you don't know, you get to raise money during the primary as one election, then raise money again after the primary. You could double the fundraising. Double the fundraising. She gets matching funds, double the matching funds. Life is good. Why wouldn't she do it? It's too much work and she might lose. Worse, she might have lost the primary. Why? Because Trump didn't endorse her. Now people tell me this other thing. Well, Larry, of course she did that. Trump endorsed Blakeman. Of course she's going to drop out. She's just supporting Trump. Well, if you remember, Trump endorsed Blakeman over a day after she dropped out. Yeah. Looks more like Trump was like, she dropped out. What? Okay, who we got? Is this Blakeman got a guy? He's a good guy. I know him. Is he our guy? They went, yeah, fine. I endorse him. I'll endorse him so he doesn't fail. That's what happened. I don't think any of that's true, John. I think you're right. What she said was not real. Is John right though? Am I right? You can tell me. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharpe on Sharpe Radio, the voice of liberty. Back with your calls and more of your chat. I see you after the break.
radio home of the Bonnies. Avon, Rochester, WLEA, WLEA-FM, Hornell, New York. Canisteo Valley Update.
The Steuben County Legislature put out a statement today saying that the reason they have money for repairs after the big weather emergencies and without borrowing is because they have low levels of debt. Officials with the county say other counties with similar populations to Steuben County, which is around 100,000 people, those counties often have debt numbers like $72 million. In Steuben County, officials say the debt's around $1 million. In other news,
we have Lorraine,
Corning Republican Assemblyman Phil Palmisano says
You're welcome.
It was a big mistake for Governor Kathy Hochul to change the rules on natural gas line placement.
Quite frankly, this is all part of their agenda. They want to make the natural gas more expensive for users, so they feel like they have no choice but to fully electrify. So when you have fewer users on the system, that increases the cost for those existing customers.
Brian O'Neill for the Voice of Liberty.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center. Tonight, snow showers with an inch or less of accumulation and lows in the low 30s. Tomorrow, wet snow turning to rain through the morning, little to no additional accumulation, and more rain in the afternoon with highs in the low 40s. Christmas Eve looking dry and partly to mostly sunny with highs in the mid-30s. I'm meteorologist Nate Morris for the Voice of Liberty.
They're wrapping up a great year at Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 96 in Victor, where you can lease with Santa-size savings. Get a new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Willys convertible, only $269 a month for 36 months. $53.83 down, 10,000 miles a year. And check this. Lease a 2025 Jeep Compass Limited SUV at just $249 a month for 42 months. $47.40 down, 7,500 miles per year. A new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo is just $299 a month for 42 months. $58.14 down, 7,500 miles per year. A 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn or Lone Star Crew Cab pickup is $299 a month for 42 months. $57.03 down, 10,000 miles per year. Deals require lease loyalty, except the Wrangler, which requires Stellantis loyalty. First payment, DMV, taxes, and fees due at signing. Eligibility conditions and exclusions may apply. Come test drive and see dealer for details. We welcome Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram customers in Victor, Canandaigua, Macedon, Fairport, and Finger Lakes. Celebrate the season at the most beautiful new vehicle sales and service dealership in the area. Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 6484 Route 96, just east of Victor.
How's the Christmas magic going in the jewelry workshop?
All the elves are bounding with creativity.
So now my dad has elves making jewelry at Walker Metalsmiths. What happened to leprechauns?
Well, Jeannie, in March they're leprechauns, now they're elves.
Okay, and after Lorraine, we'll have Keith.
It is a magical time.
You're welcome.
My best ideas come during the holiday rush.
What new Celtic jewelry wonders are you working on now?
Well, Jeannie, I think you're old enough to know the secret. These commercials are pre-recorded. By the time our friends hear it, who knows what we'll be making?
Probably something wonderful made with gold or silver. Maybe with sapphires, opals, or diamonds.
With 5 jewelers and apprentices, all crafting handmade jewelry right here in Andover, we are sure to come up with something special.
My dad, Steve Walker, is always making something special. Shop at walkerscelticjewelry.com or visit our showroom on Main Street in Andover. Holiday hours are 9 to 6 weekdays and 10 to 4 on Saturday. We close at 3 p.m. on Christmas Eve.
Is your kitchen still stuck in the 80s? Does your bathroom make you wonder if you time traveled to the past? It's time for a change, and we've got you covered right now at Lima Carpet and Flooring in Avon. We're slashing prices on all kitchen and bath designs. Modern, classic, or just fresh and fabulous, we'll design it your way. Don't wait another minute. Call 585-226-2180 or visit limacarpet.com. And let's make your space amazing again. Lima Carpet and Flooring, Route 15 in Avon. Design that makes you smile.
Inside the Taylor Laboratories. Hey, Tony, what you doing?
A little experiment, Zach. Look what I have under the microscope.
Ugh, what's that?
A sample of indoor air.
How can it be that dirty? Don't AC and furnace filters help?
Only with dust, Zach. But when Taylor installs a whole house APCO air purifier to detox the air, odors, chemicals, mold, bacteria, and viruses are removed.
For clean indoor air.
Yep. Ain't science awesome?
Taylor. 500 help.
The greatest gift ever given is celebrated at Christmas. That gift brought life, redemption, and hope. In a way, we can give a gift like that when we make a gift to the Open Door Mission, restoring hope and changing lives. Go to opendoormission.com.
They have 7 locations to serve you, and everyone at all of the branches of Serve You Federal Credit Union are taking just a moment during this cheerful and festive time of year to thank you for your business and wish you the happiest of holidays and a wonderful new year. Our best wishes to you and yours from Serve You Federal Credit Union.
Sharpe Radio on the Voice of Liberty.
Oh, yes, it is Larry Sharpe here on Sharpe Radio, the Voice of Liberty, 585-346-3000. Quick comment. John says, not really, Larry. At least you got some value from those baseball cards. Republicans got precisely nothing from Elise campaigning for 1 month and calling it quits. I guess I got something, but still kind of shady. Appreciate the sentiment, though. Let me grab a call if I could. This is Lorraine. Lorraine, how are you?
Larry, I'm great, and thank you for the show. I have 4 extremely quick comments that they'll all be over faster than one comment, almost.
Go.
Number 1, I wondered immediately if she was just frightened because we've had an explosion of assassinations and attempts around the world. And
Sure.
I know I would have been somewhat affected by that myself. Okay. Number 2, we can win. People who go around saying, oh, we're not going to be able to win. That's wrong, including the Republican Party itself. Because here's the third thing. The New York State audit, if people had gone to their website, it explained very clearly that we were way ahead of what it appeared to be in the count. And if gun owners and seniors would have voted all of them, I think even that would have done the trick. And one more thing, Kathy Hochul is just categorically dishonest, horrible governor who traps gun owners into problems and even takes their belongings away with no good reason. And she defied the Supreme Court. Is there nothing can be done about that woman?
All right, let me try to, you gave me a lot. Let me try to go down them. All right, she was scared. Maybe. I think you're right. That could have happened. But I'm going to say something that may sound harsh. But she did know. She was already a congressperson. She knew it. If there was fear, she should have not done this. Look, I recognize that if I run and I become popular, it might come to me too. Right now, no one's going to care. But maybe one day. When I ran in 2018, we did have some death threats, but I kept running. I used security, and I kept running. So I get it, but this is part of the game. Don't play this game if you don't think it's going to happen. And she did and took money. She should have said, whoa, I don't want this. Have a nice day. Good luck. Too much for me. I'm not mad at her. Most people don't do this, I think, for that reason. That's number 1. Number 2, can Republicans win? Not currently. Not the way they're doing it. Can you win if you cross over? Stefanik was not doing that. So far, Blakeman's not doing that. If you cross over as Republican and put your hand out to the independents and try to give something to Democrats, you can, because your later point of Kathy Hochul being corrupt, being terrible. True. You're not wrong. Even Democrats see that. I know. I live in New York City. I know lots of Democrats who don't like Hochul, but they're voting for her because they don't see anything in the Republican Party at all. So could it be done? You're correct. It could. But they've got to try to cross over. Third piece you brought up, New York State audit. Brilliant. We should be looking at that. You're totally right. The reason why we're not looking at that is because I think you're right. There's a big issue, and we've got to fix it. If I get into power here, I will open that back up. You are correct. Last piece you brought up was gun owners and seniors. No one gives them any hope for anything. I do. I've said to gun owners, no one supports the Second Amendment in this state better than I do. No one running. Sorry. No one running. There are individuals who do, but nobody running is. That person does not exist in this state. I'm the number 1 proponent. I'm the one who will absolutely pardon Dexter Taylor. I'm one who absolutely will immediately have a blanket pardon for all gun possession charges in New York State immediately. What will that do? It will reboot the discussion on the Second Amendment in New York State. There's no way DA stand for that. No way does it stand for that. Reboots. Because you are right, Lorraine. There is nobody trying to move anything. You need something that radical to reboot it. You have to. And that's how you reboot it. Because you're also right. Kathy Hochul ignored the Supreme Court. I could do it based upon the Second Amendment on what the Supreme Court said. I could make that pardon based upon that. You are again correct. And that would reboot everything. We'd have to rechange all the laws in New York State again, which is what I want. And no one is doing it. And seniors. I'm the one saying we got to give seniors a tax break here in their housing and property costs so they can actually stay in the state. About 40% of all the money that we're giving out in New York State to seniors, pensions, is leaving the state. You gave me a lot. I hope I touched it all. All right.
Wait, we need her in Congress. We need her in Congress.
Oh, she can stay in Congress then. Whatever. I don't care. It's fine. She likes international stuff. I don't mind that at all. Let her stay there. Not governor. And she should have never done it.
Keith.
So let me grab another call if I could. By the way, thank you, Lorraine. This is Keith. Keith, how are you, sir?
Merry Christmas again to everyone. In answer to Lorraine, in Stefanik's own words, she left because, in her words, the political climate had changed. So either her relationship with Trump had changed, he foolishly met with Mandami, and he also he was embracing both her and the guy who remains in the race, and she didn't want a primary.
Yep.
And you're exactly right. If all gun owners were to vote, there would never be a Democrat as governor, and that right there is your strategy, Mr. Sharpe. You've got to get gun owners to vote. If they voted, and I mean all gun owners voted, we would have either you or a Republican in a greasy mansion there.
You are correct on 2 points, Keith. You only gave me 2 this time. You used to give me like 7. So I'm happy you only gave me 2. So number one piece, I think exactly that. Her relationship changed, and this became a tough race, which she was not ready for. She wants to be in Congress, to Lorraine's point. She wants to be doing international stuff. So go do that. Don't be a governor. Only crazy people like me who keep running for governor want to be governor. So let me be governor, and you go be something else. No worries. Second piece you brought up. That's why I'm saying, if we actually were to say, look, every possession gun charge. So if you rob somebody, that's still a crime. You harm somebody, you brandish, still a crime. But if you just having the gun itself, that should be pardoned immediately. That is what the Supreme Court said, Second Amendment, I can do that. You do that, you will watch DAs go, whoa, 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 no. Okay, great. Let's revisit the SAFE Act. Let's revisit constitutional carry. Let's revisit everything. That's how you do it. Thanks for the call, Keith. I appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, 2 great calls. I appreciate both. And they're
Mike.
It's true. Let me grab one more call if I could. This is Mike. How are you, sir?
Hey, Larry. I think she backed out because Mrs. Adelson decided she wasn't going to give her any money.
But she's pro-Israel. Why would she's pro-Israel?
Yeah, but I think Adelson also came out and said she was going to she wants Trump to she was going to give Trump $250 million to try running for a 3rd term. Also, too,
I heard that.
Yeah, that was on. It was doing something, and she came up out of the audience, and he kissed her ring, and she said, "I want you to run again, and I'll give you all this money." Also, too,
well, look, I'm not saying
Stefanik doesn't have any plans running for Congress because she has enough years in to take that sweet retirement money.
Yes. So let me touch both those pieces. Why would Stefanik stay in Congress when in Congress she can't do much anyway? And she lost all of her seats on her committees when she stepped down to go to the UN. So she's got no more power. She can't do insider trading anymore. So those days are all gone. So why not leave, to your point, get her retirement. She gets that cash coming in now all the time. And I think also healthcare. She gets that. She's good to go, just like MTG does. And then she can do something else. She's got a bunch of cash in her pocket now from the money she raised. She'll put that into something political and somehow get a job or pay herself a salary out of it. She'll be fine. I'm not buying the Adelson thing, Mike, because she is pro-Israel. Now, maybe Trump said something. Maybe I'd buy that. But why does Adelson care? She's pro-Israel. Blakeman's pro-Israel. They're all pro-Israel. Hochul's pro-Israel. Aren't they all?
Well, I think Blakeman is more pro-Israel. You got to look to see who is going to be the more pro of the two. And Adelson's going to put her money into that. Because let's face it, that conglomerate of people look after their own, and they're going to look to see what horse is going to be more pro to their thinking.
Maybe I think you're stretching out, Mike. I like the first parts. I think that one's stretch, and here's why: you got to make everybody look bad when you still got a pro-Israel candidate. Maybe that one's a stretch for me, but maybe you're right. We'll find out, right? We always, in the long run, every conspiracy theory, we figure it out like in a year now, 6 months now, right? So we'll figure it out if you're right or not, Mike. I appreciate the call, brother. Thank you. All right, let me grab a comment here. It's off topic, but I love it. Square Table says, bro, judging by the crowd at the Browns-Bills game, Cleveland's part of Western New York. My friend, that's everywhere. Wherever the Bills play, you find a huge group of Bills fans. Why? Because the Bills are so awesome? I mean, they're a good team, but that's not why. It's because people leave New York. There are New York diaspora everywhere across this country. So every game where the Bills play, there's Bills fans. They've left New York, my friend. I wish that wasn't true. So, good call so far. I hope that was interesting. Larry Sharpe here. Sharpe Radio, the voice of liberty. 585-346-3000. Back with your calls and chat after the break.
Debunking advertising from the law office of Christopher Johnson. One ad some injury attorneys inundate you with, what's your case worth? Call us and find out. You know, nobody can tell you, quote, what your case is worth over the phone. Nobody knows. The ultimate answer to, quote, what your case is worth involves weeks or months of research, evaluation, and preparation. Many factors go into any compensation you might get, like applicable law.
Okay, we have Roger.
How much insurance coverage there is, and many, many other factors. At the law office of Christopher Johnson, the singular focus is getting your life back on track after an accident or injury. That takes money, and it helps when the advice and legal advice you get has a one-on-one focus informed by straight talk. Christopher Johnson, attorney, car, truck, motorcycle accidents, personal injury, and DWI defense. Call 585-415-3803. 585-415-3803.
The youth of our city are in a new crisis. Criminal justice reform has created the consequences of no consequences and generated a whole new generation of 12 to 17-year-old kids committing serious crimes. Never before have we had this level of youthful offenders, but 90% of these kids are just trying to do the right thing and need a safe sanctuary to retreat to. That's Rochester Youth for Christ. You can be a part of this solution by giving generously and regularly at yfcrochester.org/donate.
Sharpe Radio on the voice of liberty.
Oh, yes, it is Larry Sharpe on Sharpe Radio, the voice of liberty. Thank you for giving me a small chunk of your afternoon. I want to grab a couple of quick comments if I could. 6022 says, Larry, will you promise to visit Ukraine and the Holy Land once elected? No. Why would I? I'm not running for Congress. I'm not running for Senate. I'm not running for president. If I run for any of those, I might. I'm not running for any of that. So no, I'm focused on New York State. That's what I talk about constantly. That's what you hear me talk about constantly, again and again and again, because that's what matters. When you run for a local office, you should stop talking about things above your pay grade and focus on the people who you want to service. One of the reasons, there were many reasons why, but one of the reasons why Mom Donnie won is he said the same thing. He said, I'm focusing on New York City. I'm running for mayor, not running for Congress, Senate, right? We have a president. We have a Secretary of State. We have a Congress. Let them do their job, and I will do mine. And if Stefanik wants to go back to Congress and do that, let her go. Good to go. Enjoy. Yes. All right. John says, Stefanik actually tried to get State Senator Mark Walchick to run her seat. I like Mark. I like him too. He's been on my show before. He's a great guy. He ain't running for Congress. Not yet. Not yet anyhow. He's a good guy. I hope if someone like him does make that step, I would love that. All righty. Let me get a call if I could. This is Roger. Roger, how are you?
Not great.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I spent my birthday weekend getting over a stomach virus.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It was the first birthday I was in bed.
Ugh. Sorry about that, my friend. I hope the next weekend you can make it up with some fun.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. I can't say anything good, and I can't say anything bad about what Blakeman has done out here in Nassau County. It just
that's right. He's your executive.
Yeah. You know,
I've heard
like
the same thing.
The only thing I could think of was some guy named Calvin when he was debating the former executive Laura Curran. It said, "Hey, how come the red light cameras are $150 out here, but if you go to the east in Suffolk and if you go to the west in New York City, it's $50?" He's just like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about it." Now, they brought it down to $50, but that wasn't him. It was just through a series of lawsuits or whatever.
Well, this issue, right, you bring up here about him is on paper, he's a better candidate than Stefanik, meaning he has more experience. He is pro-life in New York State. I'm sorry, pro-choice in New York State, which is probably better to try to get Democrats. He has won in a Democratic, district. So I guess that on paper he's better, but in reality, I think to your point, he's boring. He hasn't really done anything great. I mean, Nassau County isn't any more livable than any other county. In fact, it's one of the most expensive counties in the entire state.
In the country.
Yeah. I think he's boring, and he doesn't have a great resume.
Yeah. Also, it's not going to take if all gun owners voted, it'd be Republican. It's going to take Democrats. Either Democrats voting for something other than Democrat, or it's just going to take a bunch of Democrats just sitting down and saying, I'm not going to do this. Because
you've hit a valid point.
The amount of Democrats that are registered in New York State is like almost 6 million, and it's a little over 3 million for us independents. And it's like, I don't know, like how much for Republicans?
It's like 2 million. Yep.
2 million. And if he thinks that, I'm for, what do you say? I'm for women's rights or whatever. No Democrats are talking about that. They're talking about, the cost of living. They're talking about paychecks. They're talking about health care. That is like from an old, let me just say this, right? Once Trump kicked the what do you call it, to the women's thing, the abortion thing to the states, feminism was done. It was dead. You know what I mean? You don't hear anyone talking about.
So let me touch those pieces, if I could. You made a valid point. He is, and I'm not trying to diss his age, but I'm explaining his age. He is 70. So he is thinking about when he came up 30, 40 years ago. That's where his head is. And you're right.
Yeah.
New York State's not there anymore. I think he's going to suffer. I don't think he's going to do well at all. And the next part, you're making an assumption that all gun owners are Republicans. It's not true, particularly upstate. There's a lot of Democrats who are gun owners, but they still believe, because they've been told for 30 years, all Republicans are evil. Every Republican is Trump. So why would they vote for Republican? They're all evil Trump people, right? So even though if you're a gun owner, this is, kind of to Lorraine's point. And also to Keith's point, the gun owners are actually voting against their own interest. If they voted on that, they absolutely would not vote for Hochul. So, yeah. But I'll go one more step, though, Roger. You're talking about something. Most people, gun rights aren't the number one issue for them. The number one issue is paying the rent, paying the bills.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And also, here's the thing, though. Who does these gun rules get enforced on the most? Us.
It's all young black men. All.
You know, like.
Yes.
Yeah, like Dexter. I don't know if Dexter Taylor is young, but, you know, like, I'm glad you said you would pardon him. But it gets, even when, I saw in other states, even when we have, like, the check marks, you know, the licenses and all that stuff, still arresting us. Yeah, it gets, you know, the judge yelled at the cop in court, like, why are you wasting my time with this nonsense? But it's still taking time away from your job. You got to spend money, so on and so forth. So, I mean, in a lot of ways, it would benefit our community even more if it,
I agree completely. I agree completely. Look, you know this. The largest group of people by demographic who are starting to become gun owners, black women. Black women. So let's let them become gun owners. We know that licensed gun owners are less likely to commit crimes than non-gun owners. That's a fact. So let's get more people becoming licensed gun owners. And if it's black women, awesome. Keep going, sisters. Don't stop. Keep going. Black men too. Keep going. Let's keep going. Hispanics, let's keep going.
Yeah.
No issue whatsoever. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Roger, thanks for the call, my friend. I appreciate it. Let me grab a couple more comments if I could. Pete says, what skeletons were in her closet? Again, if this is true, like the threatening piece, you didn't know that already? She's already been a congressman for how long? You didn't find those skeletons already in that closet? She didn't know it already? I get what you're saying, but that's not an excuse. This is the big boys. This is the big leagues. What are you doing? Patty says, so where does the money go that she raised? I heard someone threaten a child's life. Just rumors. I don't like her, but I understand it's true. Again, in today's world, do you not think violence is an option? Not saying it's right, Patty. Why do you think people don't run? Because of this. You have to know this is going to happen. This is how it works. In 2022, my terrible campaign, nobody threatened me with anything. My campaign was a disaster in 2022. I had a real good campaign in 2018, and they were threatening. All I'm saying is this is the big leagues. There may be violence. You should know. Don't play. Valerie says, I want to wish you, Larry, and your family and Sharpies a blessed Merry Christmas. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. I hope you all enjoy as I will. Thank you so much for giving me a small chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all very soon.
Okay, Merry